Okay, welcome to the McDonald's sessions. Today I'm here with Amanda, and we are just going to talk about her running experience. She just got running, so it's fresh in her mind, and we're going to talk a little bit about some rivalries that she has as well. I keep hearing about that, so I want to ask you about that as well.
Sounds good.
Okay, I'm here with Amanda, and we are in the play area of McDonald's. So maybe after this we'll go get in those. I don't even know what that is. I don't think I could fit, but I think you might be able to.
I probably could.
Yeah, they might not even yell at you. Like I think if we got in there, we would get in trouble. So we haven't really talked a lot before, mostly because I see you at the races, and then I never see you again because you go so fast. And then maybe sometimes I'll see you like an out and come back.
Those are always fun.
Yeah,
Yes.
but then that's really the only time I've seen you. So this is the first time we really had a chance to talk.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about what you did to start running. Did you run in high school, or did you play another sport, or did you not do anything in high school?
So in high school, I was significantly overweight.
Okay.
So I battled my weight a lot through high school. I did play tennis.
Okay.
And I actually got a lot of surprise looks with tennis because despite being overweight, I was pretty fast.
Okay.
So when I graduated, I got just tired of my weight and I decided to lose it.
Okay.
And somebody suggested to me to try running, that it might be one of the best things to do to lose weight. So
So this was like almost immediately out of high school?
pretty much like about 19 years old.
So you didn't have a big gap between your tennis career and your running career?
Nope, I played tennis all 4 years of high school. I ended up being number one singles my senior year.
Oh, nice.
I did pretty well. And so, after I graduated, I decided to start trying to run. And the first run that I did, I'll never forget it, was at KCK Community College. They have a little trail.
Okay.
And I walked 1 mile and I almost threw up. And I was like, I'll never be able to do this.
Right.
But then I just kept going and I kept going and I slowly got to 2 miles, and slowly got to 3. And I lost 50 pounds when I was 19. So I got the weight off.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't get into racing until my brother actually raced 5Ks. And he invited me to go to one. It was the Amy Thompson Run to Daylight, which is now going the distance.
Yep.
So that was my first 5K, and I got hooked instantly.
Right. So what hooked you? Does it the running, the medals, the people?
The people, the crowd, my brother is very competitive, so he was the first one to kind of get that in my head, and so he would pick that person and try to pass him, pick that person and try to pass him, and he was very, very fast, but he would slow down to run with me. He did 19-minute 5Ks.
Oh, nice.
Which I thought was really nice that he paced with me and kind of taught me how to do it, and then he just gets you all fired up because he's so competitive. And so we did that one, and then we did this. They used to have the Susan Komen 5K downtown.
Yep.
That was a huge one back in the day. So we did that one together, and then so I did that on and off for a few years, and I wasn't very good. I just went out there and did what I could. I didn't take it that seriously. I kind of just had fun with it.
Yeah.
Enjoyed his company, and then I had my son, and kind of got out of running with that, and then he got diagnosed with cancer at 15 months old.
Okay.
So definitely had to take a break from everything.
Right.
And take care of him. And at that time, when he was going through it, I kind of thought, my running's over. I'll never be able to run again. I just had that fleeting thought, and after he got better, I realized, why would I quit running? He didn't quit with his cancer battle. And so once he got well, I slowly got back out there again and just started from scratch, started over.
Yeah.
And then had my first race the year after he was recovered, and the legendary 5K out of the Legends in KCK, which they don't
Nice.
have anymore. So that was my first comeback race.
Yeah.
And then what got me going crazy with racing was I started dating Will in 2013, who's sitting across from us, but you can't see.
Because he's going to be in another video sometime.
Yes.
Not today.
So Will asked me to do Warrior Dash, the obstacle race.
Oh, fun.
We were just starting to talk and message each other, and we've known each other since high school. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll try this obstacle race.
I'll tell you, Will, every time I talk, well, not now, obviously, but whenever I talk to a girl, the first thing I said is, let's go out and run in the mud. That was a good line, because then you got to like get dirty, get clean.
Yes.
That's very good move.
And then we had an absolute blast. And then, but little did he know, he created a monster. Because as soon as I got back into it, and both, me and him enjoy running, I started signing up for races and races and races. And then
When was this?
2013
Okay.
was the beginning of that. And so now here I am, almost 10 years later, and this past year I ran 76 races,
Nice.
which was crazy. That was way too much. So
I saw everyone doing those recaps, and I didn't even look to see how many races I had run, but
yeah.
I don't think I did 76. I think I did a little less races this year, but I was out there a lot too, so I saw you almost most of the time.
Yeah, every race.
Yeah.
So I'm dealing with some injuries, I think because of overdoing it, but it's so fun.
Yeah. Do you have like a favorite race that you do like every year?
Probably my all-time favorite is the Garmin Casey half. That was my first half ever. Will actually signed me up without telling me in 2013 because he knew I could do a half and I didn't think I could. And then this past year was where we got engaged.
Yep.
And I actually I love running downtown. I love the fall weather.
Yeah.
Even the hills. Like, that is just my most favorite, meaningful Casey race.
So, do you run the other races down there, like Hospital Hill, the Big
Yes.
12, all those runs too?
I have done Big 12 before. I do like that one, too.
Yeah, I might do that this year. I didn't do it last year, which I don't really know why, but
Last year, I got roped in by Chris to run the Big 12 5K and then go run the St. Patrick's 4-miler.
the same day. That's easy.
Never again.
It is hard. I mean, because I've done even just 2 5Ks, which shouldn't be that bad, but like stopping and then
Yes.
getting your car and driving somewhere and
Yes.
trying to start again, it isn't that. It does kind of hurt. It's
Oh, yeah, we did that with Sunglasses Run and the Brandon Russell Flash Dash. So from Blue Hawk all the way to North Kansas City.
Oh, that's a lot further. I did it from like Olathe to I don't remember where. I know where it was Frontier Park, and it was somewhere
Did you do the back-to-back Olathes? Like,
2 or 3 years ago. Like one of them got canceled because of weather or something, and then
yes.
Yeah.
I remember your video.
yeah,
You did those back.
That was not as fun as I would think. Like a 10K is not that bad, but the 2 separate, I did not enjoy that.
Stopping, cooling down, stiffening up in the car, and then having to start again.
And it was
rough.
stressful too because they were only an hour apart. So I mean, I literally at the Frontier Park, I was walking up, and they were starting. I didn't do
Same with Flash Dash.
Yeah.
Like Sunglasses, we made it with like 2 minutes to spare.
I kind of like that. I mean, I've had a few races where they're rolling starts where you can just start whenever.
Yes.
And that is kind of nice where you just kind of go and don't have to wait for the national anthem and all that stuff. So I like that, but I did not like the cooling down part. So
Same. I could barely get out of the car at Flash Dash. So done some crazy things that I'm going to try to tone back on a little bit this year.
Sure you will.
I've got some plantar fasciitis, some IT band flare up now, so I don't know what's going on, but
So I heard Will say he was going to the chiropractor. What do you do for recovery?
so we both see the same chiropractor. So that he's been a game changer. I've got something that's completely going on with my whole right side. It's always messed up, and so definitely getting adjusted. Dry needling. Do you get dry needle too?
I don't know what that is, but it doesn't
Never
sound
heard-
fun. I don't like needles.
So they stick a needle
Nope.
where you're hurting, and then they just jab it over and over until your muscle just twitches. And then sometimes they hook it up to electrodes and do the electrostimulation, so your muscles are just popping.
Okay.
And it hurts at the time, but it is the most amazing tool to help.
Do you get like a stretch, or you do
Yeah,
cryo,
like when
or
my
any of those things?
hamstring like tightens up,
Yeah.
he just loosens that all up. And then my calves are notoriously tight, which is why
My
hip
calves
hurts.
are
You too?
Trash. I mean, it's
Good.
bad.
You should get dry needle in your calves.
I do. I go to Stretch Lab once a week. But the yoga studio over here, that Yoga 6 got closed, and now it's reopening, so I can do it back to yoga. I have a Hypervolt. So
Hypervolt's amazing.
The Hypervolt really hurts on the calves, but it really helps too.
I'm really ticklish, so I actually have a really hard time getting hypervolted because of that.
I can't do it on my feet. My feet are like really ticklish, but everywhere else, I'm cool with.
The chiropractors tried it, and I can't handle it, so they have to do other things because I'm so ticklish. It's ridiculous.
So you said you had Will sign you up for a half marathon. Have you done a marathon before?
I've never done a full marathon, so that is something on the bucket list. No, he's not going to sign me up and not tell me.
He already has.
I am tempted, but with the injuries that I've had over the past year, it's what makes me nervous.
So you've seen these videos before, and you know that pretty much every time I try to convince people to run an ultra marathon, actually, usually past a marathon. So, let me know. You've run down at Loggerhead.
Yes.
So it's kind of, you could run that same course, 50K, you just go a little bit further. And
50K.
you can go a lot slower. You don't have to, do it in 2 hours. You could take your time. And like I've walked a ton in those 50Ks.
Yes.
So you can it's up to you. I mean, if you really are only concerned about speed, or if you want to get that distance. So it's a decision a lot of times.
Yeah.
Especially when, even if you're like, not injured, but just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
If I ever did a full, I definitely would not be so concentrated on speed, especially with my injuries, because I don't want to pay for. It's fine when I'm running. When I'm done, my heel hurts so bad for the next day or so. Like I can't even put weight on it usually, and so that's my only thing that's holding me back. So I definitely would not go crazy on a full, but it's something I want to do. My son says that now's the time to do it, Mom. You're in the best shape of your life. It's
I
just
totally
this
agree.
nagging injury.
So in a perfect world, if you could do, a marathon, which marathon would you want to do?
We've talked about, because I've talked to him a lot about it. It would either be KC full, even with all the hills, or IMT Des Moines. That's my second favorite.
Have you run the half here?
Yes. I did the I-35 challenge a couple years ago too.
Have you? And the one in Olathe, the Garmin.
No, I have not done that. Or I've never done that half. I'm scheduled to do that half this year.
Oh yeah, because it's in the 39.3.
Yes.
I'm doing that. I did the full marathon last year.
Oh, with
There.
that wind.
Yeah, it was bad. I guess I didn't technically do a marathon because the course was a
Oh,
little short.
Mm-hmm.
But little do they know that I ran a little extra because I don't think I got lost. I think I don't remember the reason, but I
Somehow
did.
you got your mileage.
Yeah,
though.
and that doesn't happen all the time. But I mean, I didn't care. I feel like if the course is short, that's their problem. I mean, I still, if the 10K, if it was actually 9K, I still would call it a 10K. So, but I wasn't trying to qualify for Boston, so that kind of sucked. But.
Yeah, true. But I'm excited I like new halves, so I've never done that one. I did the 10K last year.
Yeah, it's fun. You go a long ways, especially in the marathon. But you go way past Olathe and kind of just a big circle, which it's nice too because a lot of marathons. I guess not. I was going to say a lot of half marathons are out and backs like Loggerhead.
Yeah.
But really, most of them are not like that. They're kind of a big circle. So.
Yeah, I like that. And let's hope that it's not a hurricane wind issue this time.
Well, it probably will be. So, do you have any big races that you're training? What are you training for right now? Or are you just in general?
Right now I'm doing more halves than ever. I want to get to 100 halves. I'm at 30 right now.
Okay.
So this year I'm really piling on the halves. So I have John Brown coming up.
I'm not sure I'm doing that because I think I'm going to be gone, but I might. My kids have a music competition in Wichita, but I might not be there because I might be here to take care of the dog, so I could run a half marathon and then come back home.
And that's on the trail. You've done that trail a lot.
That's
right?
where the Mile Zero and Ultrapalooza are. I'm doing the Mile Zero 50K.
Wow, I'm doing the 10 miler.
Excuse me. That's awesome. It's still good. It's fun. Have you run down there before?
I've never run on that trail, so
You should run. You should switch it to the 20 because
that's what everybody keeps saying.
the 20 is where you get to see Rantoul because the 10 I don't think you get far enough to see like the cool part of the trail.
Everybody says do the 20, but like that's in the month of April,
Yeah.
and I think I'm doing a half every single weekend.
I last year did the 50K and then the marathon the next week. It was hard. It definitely hurt, but
It definitely hurt.
you could do it.
I'll think about it.
So you have those 3 half marathons. Are you doing running with the cows too?
Yep, I'm doing cows again.
So did you sign up for the half marathon series?
Yes. And so the little hometown half that came out yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm doing every single one.
Are you doing Clinton?
Yes.
Have you done Clinton before?
Yes. And
What do you think of that course?
I didn't love it. So
The first time I did it, I didn't know about like that very end
Yes.
circle. I mean, that's like torture.
the bowl, that's what I called it.
I wish they would somehow. I don't know where you could go, but somewhere different. Like everywhere else is awesome, but going by
The big bowl. Like
that
hills.
gas station that's there, that's awesome. The little train where you go on the Katy Trail. Is that the Katy Trail?
Yeah.
For like a second, that's cool.
Yes.
But that circle it's terrible because at the very end, it's really hilly.
When
and
you're tired, yep. So
Yeah.
I didn't do very well when I did that half. I was not prepared for that. And so this is going to be a redemption.
like Liberty Hospital is kind of like that, I guess, but it's still that I don't know. And plus, there's nothing there to look at. I mean, it's
Yeah,
just
it got real desolate.
Yeah.
I did it, I think the year of COVID or the year after, I don't know. It was really small. And so I was completely by myself, like, for the majority of the
I'm
time.
used to that and a half, so
Yeah, and I was just like, dee dee dee. I was like, and then the bowl hit, and I was like, what is this?
yeah. It's kind of like when you do a course where like a 10K or something where you have to do a circle and it's just a loop and you run
Yes.
right by the finish line.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, that was like that where it was just like,
Doing a torture right there.
yeah, like I just want to be
Be
done,
done.
and you're giving me this really terrible, boring loop
I just wanted to
with
be
traffic,
over.
with people driving, trying. And I think like people one time when we ran it, like some guy like was yelling at us when we were running, and
Oh my gosh.
yeah, it was crazy. So you have John Brown, Clinton, running with the cows, Liberty.
And then I'm pacing for the first time at Rock the Parkway.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to
Does
do
that count?
210. Yep.
Oh.
It'll still count. 210 with Michael Dell. So that'll be really entertaining.
So I don't think I've talked to people that have paced, but I haven't really asked about it. Does that make you nervous?
Yes.
Because I don't think I'll ever pace because there's some days where I feel like I just cannot run like well
I'm
for
terrified.
me even.
Even this morning when we did our morning run today, I was trying to pace myself at a 9:40 pace, and I just couldn't do it. Every time I looked down, I was just off, and I was like, "How am I going to do this at Rock Parkway?" Like, I don't know.
I think you'll be good. But I mean, 210 is pretty fast. But
I have a good partner though with Michael Dell, who's a master pacer. I think
he's a master of something.
he'll
have to be on this.
cartwheels at the finish.
He'll have to be on this too.
Yes.
He'll probably sing you to death.
Yeah. So I think he'll show me the way. So we're gonna start together, and then eventually he'll go the lead, and I'll be the back.
Yeah.
I just have to quit. I have to like quit going faster than This is what I did all morning today when I was trying to practice. I'm like fail.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. It's definitely nerve wracking.
Okay, back with Amanda, and now we're going to talk about your rivalry with Chris. So how did that start? What is it? Is it real, or is you guys just?
It's friendly rivalry.
Oh, it's friendly.
Yeah.
I was hoping you guys had a blood feud or something.
I think Brad tried to pin us against each other, but it backfired, and we became like best of friends, which is hilarious. But in 2021, when I was racing, I kept seeing this girl beat me time after time after time in my age group. I was like, who is this Chris Kaufman? And I finally met her at Accept Zero at the Chiefs Stadium, at the stadiums.
Yeah.
We ran in the parking lot. I think you ran that one
Yeah.
too. So of course she beat me. And I met her in the parking lot after I finished.
Here we go.
We approached each other, and she was like, so I hear I have a nemesis. Brad had told her that.
Yeah.
Because to back that up, was with Brad at a brew crew run, and we were looking up like Easter egg run, and I was like, tell me if Chris Kathman signed up so I can know if I'm not going to get first. And so he went and told her she had a nemesis. And
You probably told her to sign up.
yeah, because she was just stopping me every race. And so she came up to me in the parking lot and we started talking, and instant connection. Like, just the sweetest person. And that whole rest of the year, she just kept beating me. And so I would just cheer her on. We'd start together and I would just tell her to go.
Yeah.
And then this year, and I can't even take credit for it because she was training for a marathon, so she slowed way down and everything. But now she says the same about me, that I keep beating her. And so we have this constant fun rivalry, but it's all good. Like, I love her, and I'm so glad Brad said something because it just brought us together.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely a fun thing about racing or even just running, is you meet a lot of different people. I definitely meet a lot of different people too. It's really kind of intimidating because, I'm not winning races, so it's just kind of weird to be like people saying hi to me, and I'm like, hey, you guys are almost done, and I'm just headed out.
No, but what you do with mileage, like, that's such an accomplishment. I mean, who cares if you're still doing the mileage? It doesn't matter what speed you're doing it, and you've done things I will never, ever be able to do.
You never know. If I could do it, you could do it.
I don't ever see myself doing like a 50 miler or anything crazy like that.
I know, it's really, like, I've done it, and I can always say, even if I never ran again, I can say I did it, but sometimes it doesn't seem real, even though I've run 50 miles twice.
It's incredible.
And I would probably do it again. I was just looking at something last night, so.
Yeah, my highest mileage is 15 miles.
So you're going to get the marathon. I mean,
Eventually.
I think that's going to happen for sure.
If I can just get over my fear of my injuries or just get healed, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
So, have you guys set a wedding date yet?
Not yet. We're coming up on our 10 years of being together.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of, I can't believe we've been together for 10 years. But yeah, we'll figure it out. I'm just happy to have our engagement and have my ring.
Are you going to try to go like on a running honeymoon or like a destination race somewhere?
Well, you know what? We thought about, who said they were going to marry us at a race? Was it Michael?
I'm sure somebody out of all the runners are ordained minister or something.
Yeah, Michael wants to marry us at German.
He should do it. We should just do it in a video, and just like be running and have him. You say the vows, like you say I do, and you're like running. I'm like,
yeah, we're highly voted for a race wedding, but we'll see what happens.
I mean, you could just pick where you want to go and then find something there and the date. I mean, you could go to. I mean, you could run in Hawaii if you wanted to, and wherever. I mean,
That
I don't
would
know
be
what you would like, or go to like Vegas and run that half marathon they have down the strip. I always want to do that. I got married in Vegas.
Did you? Mm-hmm. You had that rock and roll?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got married like it was not like one of those. It was a chapel in one of the casinos, but it was like just a normal small wedding. But it wasn't like the weird chapel but we did go back later and get married. We got
renewed.
Our vows with one of our best friends at the Little White Wedding Chapel. And I was wearing. We were shopping at some Lucky store, I think. And we found this Guns N' Roses shirt. So me and my friend, we were wearing Guns N' Roses shirts. So we keep saying we're gonna go back and like be a little bit fancier and do it one more time. So I don't know. You can get married like. I don't know. How many times can you get married to the same person?
Hey, you can renew as many as you want.
In Vegas, you can do it for sure. So, yeah.
Yeah, whatever we do, I know we'll just have fun with it. Like, we have fun with whatever
Yeah.
we do.
Well, I just was wondering if you guys had made a
Not yet.
And I wanted to know if it had to do with if you had any running plans with it. So.
That's probably going to be implemented into it somehow.
So with all your running, one of the things I like to ask is how do you get motivated? So like today when it's cool and windy and everything, how do you get yourself out the door?
That's a good question. So for me personally, just running is my stress relief. It's what I look forward to. It gets me through my work days, even with the cold. And actually, I as I've progressed more, I've started to enjoy running more in the cold.
Yeah.
Starting sucks, because you're freezing, but once you get warmed up, there's no better weather, I think.
And you run a lot in the mornings too, right? Like early?
On the weekends, but
Excuse me.
on the weeknights, it's more after, and that's harder when you
Yeah.
worked all day. It's starting to get dark in the winter, and you basically just want to curl up on the couch. That is where I struggle more with motivation, but I just make myself. It's just discipline. Just get dressed and get out the door and get it done.
I definitely like the mornings because then you do it before you really have a chance to
Yes.
talk yourself out of it. I mean, I have run like late. I mean, starting at like 10:30 or 11
Yeah.
and that is really hard, especially when everyone else is either going to bed or
Yes.
whatever. That's really tough, but it's been fun too. I mean, I don't know, those odd runs. I think I've talked about this on these videos a million times, but the things that are different in the runs are what's fun. Like if it all of a sudden starts raining, or
Yes.
I mean, that's the kind of fun stuff to me. So
Well, and this morning, we started at 7 and got to see a beautiful sunrise. It was incredible this morning.
I think runners are a little bit more in tune even to like
Yep.
nature and the weather and stuff, because
Yes.
you have to know what the temperature is going to be when you go out just to dress properly. So you kind of, through the year say you can see when the sun is starting to come up earlier, or it's starting to get
Yes.
dark earlier. So I think you get used to that, and I love seeing the sunsets, sunrises, the animals, and
Yep, we saw deer,
Yep.
the cardinals. Everybody was just waking up. So it was definitely worth getting it, done. And now we're done for the day. And
Yep.
then motivation is also coffee for the morning runs. I do the Brew Crew coffee runs on Wednesdays.
Yep.
And those are always just so fun. And then you get to try all sorts of different coffees. From
So
different
when you
shops.
go out there, do you enjoy when there's no one else? Like if you're, does it make you? Because I kind of feel like when I see very few people that I'm doing something that no one else is doing. So do you feel like that, or do you? I mean, sometimes I feel like that, and then sometimes I see someone, and I'm just like, oh, it's nice to know that there's someone else out here doing the same thing. Like, how do you feel?
I'm kind of like you. Sometimes I do just being solo. This morning, we were basically the only ones on the trail.
Yeah.
And I actually just enjoyed that, just getting into the zen and being by myself, kind of meditating.
Yeah.
I'm a mix.
I do a lot of thinking on the trail when I'm running too. I really do a lot of working. Like I can organize my thoughts and organize what I want to do, and I'll come up with ideas
Yes.
for presentations and stuff. It happens all the time.
Yeah, you just get clarity.
Yeah.
And so I do enjoy sometimes those solo runs just to have that peace and quiet.
Do you listen to music?
Yeah. So I went 25 years without listening to music.
Mm-hmm.
I used to just never do it. And then 2 years ago, I got the aftershocks. And now I'm like, I have to have my music, especially when I race. I could probably just do a regular run, without it. I don't really need it. But as far as racing, I've become completely dependent on it.
I definitely need it too. I mean, I need that. I don't know. I'm listening to my playlist, so then I get excited when some song comes on that I put on there. So it's kind of weird, but I need that.
Yes.
I need that
Same.
rush.
It does help. It's amazing how it helps push you
Yeah.
when a good song comes on.
And when I've had really long races I've been training for, I always kind of have a song that kind of goes with it. So
Yeah.
I don't know. And then when that song plays during that race,
Yes, you're
it's
like, oh.
I was like, oh, it's fate. No, it's not really fate. It's I put the song on the playlist, but I didn't. I have it on shuffle, so it did just kind of
But it
show up.
helps.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know how I went. Everybody used to make fun of me for 25 years without.
Well, I think it's funny because I'll wear a hat or something when it's cold. People talk to me and I can't hear because
Same.
they don't even know I have music in.
Yeah, because I had my aftershocks under this today, and I had them on pretty loud. And me and Will went at different paces, so we out and back.
Yeah.
And so he's like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what? And he's like, never mind. I couldn't hear a word he was saying.
I mean, with the hat, it makes it worse. Usually, if you don't have that,
Yes,
you can
but
hear.
smashes.
But,
Yep.
Yeah,
can't
it
hear
makes it
anything.
much louder and much more immersive.
Yes.
You can't wear those aftershocks at the gym because then you just hear the music and it's too loud. And then
Yeah.
if you're in traffic, sometimes you hear the traffic. It's
Yep.
really loud.
Yes.
So I think we covered your past, your favorite races, your mantra and what you're doing in the future. Is there anything else that you'd like to cover? Anything I didn't ask you about that you want to talk about?
I don't think so. I think that we pretty much covered everything.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe I'm more boring than.
No, I think it's good.
Not too exciting.
No, I think it's really good. I think how fast you are is like really awesome. Like, how many? Do you know how many like first place, or I don't even know what they're called, medals? Not medals.
Awards.
Yeah.
I don't
Age
know how
group
many,
awards.
but you would crack up at, because I haven't hung like the plaques and everything. Like, so I live in an apartment, so I can't hang on my walls because we're planning on getting a house hopefully this summer. And so I'm not hanging up anything. So I have a bunch of metal just racks that are completely full. My room is completely consumed with medals, and then all my plaques are on my dresser, on my nightstand, and they're just stacked. And yeah, I don't know how that happened this year. Like this past year was the fastest I've ever been, and I PR'd in every single.
So
distance.
I asked you what your favorite race is. What is the race that you're most proud of?
Probably Loggerhead this past year. So that is when I had a very specific pacing plan that I was going to do for that half, and my Garmin died at mile 2. And there's no pacers
Yep.
on Loggerhead. And so I was completely blind to how fast I was going. Had no idea. Wasn't around anybody that could tell me how fast I was going. And so I just had to wing it and ended up PRing that one blind. And so I think that was probably my most proud race, to be able to do blind and PR. It was crazy. Was not comfortable without a Garmin. We're so reliant on.
Yeah, that's like walking out without pants on.
Yeah, it was awful. Like, I just couldn't believe it died on mile 2. And then, yeah, I had to immediately go get a new Garmin.
So we'll talk about that. Are there other traditions that you have that you would feel like practically naked out there didn't have? Like, I always chew gum, which people on here uncommented, like, why I always chew gum. Just a thing. I always wear a hat. Always wear. I don't know. I have a lot of stuff. I always have a towel in the car waiting because I get really sweaty. Do you have anything like that would really throw you off if you didn't have, besides your Garmin?
Tissues. So I have exercise-induced rhinitis. So basically my nose runs the entire time that I run. And everybody else makes fun of me because I always carry my tissues. If I forget my tissues, oh my gosh, because I do not farmer blow or anything crazy like that. Like, there's no way. So I always, every day knows me, I have a tissue in my hand. Every finish line picture, I have my tissues.
I never noticed that before. Now I'm probably never going to not notice it.
Always have my tissues. So I can't, if I leave without them, like, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
So that is just like a Garmin, my tissues. Those are my 2 things. Music, yes, like we discussed, I want to have now, but I could probably live without.
Okay. Okay. Well, I think we got everything. So thank you for coming to McDonald's. I guess I don't even know if this is close for you or not. I hope
it's not bad at
not too
all.
bad, but
Thank you for having me.
yeah, I think we learned a lot about you, and I will look for your race pictures and look for your tissues in your hand.
You will see them.
I think that'll be funny. So thank you all for watching, and I will talk to you next time.